greetings to you and thank you for staying tuned to 92.3 Nigerian Info. Hard Facts continues right about now, and it is my pleasure to bring you the conversation. I am Kaladako Rubatabo, and before the commercial will take our time, let's quickly introduce the conversation. So a couple of days ago, the statistics were reeled out by the National Bureau of Statistics, talking about the crime rate in Nigeria. And now in that survey, it was mind-blowing. It was wow, when I saw the report. And it has taken me a couple of days to digest, what is in that report. Now, according to Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey, about 51.89 million incidents were reported from the period of May 2023 to the period of April 2024. Now, some of you may have come across these data, but for the sake of laying a foundation to the conversation, I'm going to read it nonetheless. Now, according to this data, 51.89 million crime incidents happened in the country. The Northwest geopolitical zone recorded the highest with about 14.4 million incidents, followed by the North Central, which recorded 8.8 million. And then, I think followed by, where is it? Is it South now? Because I think the South recorded 7.7 million, if I remember correctly. So just give me a minute. I'm going to check my stats. I'm going to look at it because I'm talking from my head right now. It's looking like my memory wants to fail me. So I'm just going to look at it right now. Okay, so I just mentioned the North Central second. The third is the Northeast with 7.9 million, and the South is fourth, just about 200,000 less than what the Northeast has. So 7.7 million, that's what the South recorded in terms of criminal or crime rate, criminal activities, right? Then the Southeast recorded the lowest. Wow, I'm marveled by that report, I would not lie. The Southeast recorded 6.2 million incidents. Now, I know you've been hearing for the past few days that the South recorded the highest in terms of crime reporting. It means that when it happened, the people in the South trusted the police the most by going to security agents to report various crime incidents that happened in the 6 states in the South. But when it comes to crime rate, the Southeast recorded the lowest, while the Northwest recorded the highest. Now, in the Northwest, we have states like Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, Kano, and Jigawa, right? And so in these states, they recorded the highest. Now, I think it was Daniel Bwala, the presidential aide, that was saying, when you look at the statistics, that the crime rate reduced when compared to the previous year. And he talked about the fact that banditry has been reduced to the barest minimum. He talked about how schools are no longer being attacked as they were before. He talked about how nobody really has got hold on any community, talking about bandits. He also talked about how in the Southeast they have been able to reduce the amount of unknown gunmen parading or perpetrating violence. And so in the Southeast, those violent activities have been reduced. Kidnapping was one major problem, and yes, and that's where our conversation is going to, by the way. Kidnapping, one major problem across the 6 geopolitical zones, so there is not one zone that was free. And according to Nairametrics, 2.23 trillion naira were paid in this period under review, or rather was paid. 2.23 trillion naira was paid as ransom. So, yes, about 80%, if I remember the data correctly, of kidnapping incidents saw ransom payment. There was no rescue for the people who were kidnapped. Once again, remember, it is from the period of May to May 2023 to April this year. Now, I'm going to read from Nairametrics. Now, he said, according to the survey, Nigerians paid a total of 2.23 trillion naira in ransom over the 12-month period from May 2023 to April 2024. This amount was paid by households affected by kidnapping, emphasizing the escalating threat posed by criminals across the country. Now, the CESPS, which of course is the survey, the acronym for the survey, provided a detailed account of the crime situation in Nigeria, noting a total of 51.89 million crime incidences experienced by households during the period under review. The Northwest region recorded the highest number of crimes with over 14.4 million, followed by the North Central region with about 8.8 million. And in contrast, the Southeast recorded the fewest incidences with 6.18 million cases. Now, the survey highlights that rural areas were more affected by crime than urban areas, with rural households experiencing a total of 26.53 million crime incidents compared to 25.36 million in urban settings. Now, using that last paragraph, saying it was more concentrated in rural communities, during the Yuletide, during this festive period, the end of the year, many people tend to travel to the rural area. It's our communal tradition where we like to, commune with siblings and kith and kin, and we go there and we look back at the year together, and we laugh, we gist, we eat, we do all sorts. And so we go to the rural. So if crime was more concentrated in the rural, and going by these statistics, the question then is, how safe do you find traveling this Yuletide season? And that's the question. I'm not even looking at the price of transportation. I'm not looking at all of that, even though some of it has gone up. I think I was reading which of the articles now, I can't remember. And flight fare, to and fro, has skyrocketed. Some airlines are recording almost 1 million, to travel, to the south and southeast region from, the southwest or even any part of the northern part of the country. So your thoughts really, because the reason why the flights are going up, apart from petroleum products hike, there's also the talk about the rush, the demand for air travels, because they find the roads unsafe. Many people find the roads unsafe. So yeah, I want to hear from you. What do you think? What do you think? But going back to that report, a major finding of the survey was the alarming number of kidnapping incidents. According to the report, approximately 4.14 million households in Nigeria fell victim to home robbery. Also, a significant 65% of households affected by kidnapping were forced to pay a ransom. So not 80%, now 65%. Were forced to pay a ransom to secure the release of their loved ones. The average ransom paid was 2.67 million naira, contributing to the total sum of 2.23 trillion naira spent by Nigerians in kidnappers' demands during the 12-month period. Now, the high ransom figure paints a grim picture of the security situation in Nigeria as families and communities continue to grapple with the devastating financial and emotional toll of kidnapping crimes. Now, the survey also found that only 36.3% of those affected by home robbery reported the incident to the police, while the reporting rate for kidnappings was similarly low. So I want to get your thoughts, really. I want to go to the phone lines now. Enough of me talking. Are you comfortable traveling this youth? And this is not in any way, to make you feel scared or anything. We're talking for development. We're looking at the stats. We're looking at the data before us, and we're trying to analyze it. And I'm wondering, what do you make of this data? What do you make of it? I'd like to hear from you. And, one other thing that I want to look at, especially for those in the South, why was reporting criminal incidents 100%? Is it that in the South, despite the misbehavior and the misdemeanor of some police officers, there is that trust, there is that, when it happens, let's get to the police maybe the police can help us. I wonder if that's how you see it and if that's what you're thinking. But let's go to the phone lines. I've said that like 1,000 times, but eventually right now, we're going to the phone lines. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. There is 0817-923-0007. How do we ensure that our roads are safe this Yuletide period? I mean, how can we also ensure that communities are safe this Yuletide period? What can we do? You know, security is everybody's business. They say and they tell us every now and then. What can we do to ensure that, you know, everywhere is secure? Yeah, I mean, there still will be crime. We can't eradicate crime in its entirety, but we can reduce it to the barest minimum. Robin from HA, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you. Robin, are you there?
I'm there.
All right, let's hear you.
I'm here. Good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
I do not agree with Daniel Bola.
Okay.
He's only speaking that because there's no job in Nigeria and he has got a new job. Look at the figure you are reading now. The other day we discussed it. Canada, if you do not mention the number of people killed within the period under review. The figure tells me over 600,000 people killed. And somebody would tell me Nigeria is safe. The same way the NSA was preaching, instead of him to do his job, he was going to kick out the Lekarawa within how many minutes? Why people say we should not demarcate? It's not going to demarcate. If that not happen to you, you think what you're hearing is a ruse. Okay. People are kidnapped, killed every day, unaccounted for. It's not on news. No station carries it. It's happening till now that I'm talking to you. The government, the National Assembly should make a new law. A special situation requires a special attention. They should make a new law. Anybody caught with AK-47 should be executed.
But there's such a law. I think there is the, there is that law. Yes, there's the
what is happening?
The death penalty. The death penalty. All right. Thank you, Robin. Robin, have got to go. JJ from Port Harcourt Township, welcome. What is on your mind?
Canada, I think we need to get something right here.
Okay.
These are reported cases, so...
Yes, of course.
It's not there for the one where they say, "Moku live and for God." It means that there may be more kidnapping in some other areas, but within the South, it's more reported, and we now top that area, two of us. Because we've heard that government will enter a village, 300, 200, 500 people, and at the end of the day, it ends there. So whether they pay or they don't pay, but this one now, every money paid, everybody wants to follow to make sure. I don't know. People always say God help us, but I appreciate even God self don't tire. Because God has provided everything for us, but sorry, how can the police who is supposed to prevent this thing be guiding hypercity and guiding a local government secretary that nothing is happening? At the time, it was even local security that is not doing the work for the police. We're not ashamed. I bet Canada, make I rest.
All right. Thank you very much, JJ. Thank you for your thoughts. We will be having a commercial in about less than 2 minutes, I think. Less than 2 minutes, a minute and 30 seconds. But then I'm still entertaining thoughts. I'm going to quickly take this one within that 1 minute mark. Welcome. Your name, your location, your contribution. All right, let's take another one. 92.3. Oh my, something is wrong with the phone line. But let's go to, this one says, our security apparatus has been so compromised at the very moment repentant terrorists were recruited into our defense force, while the police and other paramilitary spent most of their time collecting bribe and fail their responsibility of intelligence gathering. The civilians don't trust them because of their safety. Such a rotten and vicious circle, or is this cycle you meant to say? It's quite unfortunate. Onyeka from Rumudara. Onyeka, thank you. So we will go for that commercial. When we do return, you and I will talk, and we'll talk some more. So please do stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Are you having problems listening to us via the Nigeria Info app? Experience
Korubatipur and the frequency 92.3 Nigeria Info. We're talking security as we take a look at the crime experience and security perception survey. And of course, I've reeled out the stats, and I'm asking if you feel very safe traveling, because of course the statistic did show that the crime rate was more concentrated at the rural areas. And I'm wondering, because it's the Yuletide season, and we will be traveling to the rural areas. A lot of us will be. And so, are you feeling safe? What can the police do to guard and safeguard our roads, the highways, our communities, the rural areas, basically? What can the police do? And what can we as the people do as well? We're looking at all of this, and we're talking. But let's read this message before I go back to the phone line. NS texting from OG. It says, if you don't kill the poverty situation in Nigeria, you're wasting your time thinking you can end insecurity. Ordinary Nigerians can do better too. Instead, ordinarily Nigerians can do better too. Instead of building big houses in a poor neighborhood, why not build a factory that will employ people in that place? You come to Nigeria, one man has 15 different cars, and the man expects to sleep with his eyes closed. NS, thank you. Well, let's come here. This one says the figures released on each of the geopolitical zones are scary. The best way to tackle insecurity is to entrench servant leadership. We must all show a sense of national conscience. John Wagugu. All right, thank you, John. But back to the phone line, 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. 0817 923 0007. Have I called all the numbers? I take it again. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. And 0817 923 0007. These are the call numbers. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. Well, let's commence this until the Nigerian police force and our sister security agencies in the country begin to prioritize the safety of the people against kidnapping and other criminal activities. We will not achieve the reduction in crime, and I urge the government to prioritize the security of life and property. Woika denied from Elele. All right, let's come here. I was going to take that one. Keep calling. I'll take your calls now. I'm done reading messages. I'll take your calls now because I do have a commercial in a bit. So once again, the call numbers 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003 and 0817 923 0007. Okay, let's get what your thoughts are. Are you traveling? Do you feel safe? And if you don't, what do you think can be done to help safeguard, to help with the safety of our rural areas, of our highways? For those of you who will be traveling to the southeast, for those of you coming from other parts to the southeast, to the south, we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to get your thoughts, and we'd like to hear what you're thinking. All right, interesting. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. I wonder what is wrong with the phone lines at this time. It was ringing not too long ago, but keep your calls coming in. All right, yes, I'm still expecting your calls. 51.89 million incidents in the space of 1 year from May 2023 up until April 2024. 2.23 trillion naira paid as ransom in that period under review because of let's even talk about that. How kidnapping is fast becoming, one industry. one making money industry, just like it was a while ago with militancy in the South. So what's happening? What's happening with that? We need to also take a look at it and get your thoughts and talk for development, basically. Well, anyways, let's go to the phone lines and let's hear what you've got to say as it relates to this, because I do understand a lot of. Are we saying a lot of people will not travel this period? Because it's a conversation I think we should have and we should look at, to ensure that we are talking for development and we're doing the right thing. All right. So 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. And if for any reason the phone lines are acting up, as I suspect they are, then send your WhatsApp messages to 0809-030-6416. All right. Okay, so yeah, I'm still waiting for your calls. I'm still waiting for some reason. Let me take this myself. Can you hear me? 92.3 Nigerian Info. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm Chivoriti from Obogo.
All right, Chivoriti, welcome. Let's get your thoughts, please. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's that time. It's that time of the day. Crazy network. My goodness. I can hear you, but not so clearly.
Okay, let me get this. Yes. Hello, you hear me now?
Now, better it is. Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that if you like, build factory everywhere, do refinery everywhere. All these boys that have been inclined with their blood are going to kill people, all in the name of kidnap to make money. They will never ever do this job. Let me show you small. 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, we had a job that we did in my own place, Kingdom. This job paid the boys very well. At the end of the day, what they did, they resorted to go and buy corn and begin to kill themselves, all in the name of, what did they say? They are kidnapping. They are also killing themselves as corn fishing. They did that until when they realized they are finishing, the boys are finishing. They resorted to say, oh, the men were the people who caused it. Our big boys, we are the people who caused their war. No. You know what will happen? We now brought people to approach them before we start what we are today. You know what happened in the Upper Ibim and Donny? They started in again and no more. So anyhow you try it, there are still many of them that die remain that are still in the push. You can never stop it until we just manage it. Our people say any sickness that attack you cannot manage. Just take it until when it kill you or you kill it. So that is it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Given the condition of the phone lines, I would have to take a break, and after that will be time for a commercial. And yeah, I think we do have a commercial. Oh, no, we don't. All right, so keep the conversations going, I guess. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. For those of you who are just joining the conversation, we are looking at the survey on crime rates in the country, and we're looking at the amount that happened across the country, 51.89 million incidents. And then, of course, broken down into geopolitical zones, we have the Northwest with the highest, 14-something million, followed by the North Central, about 8.8 million, followed by the Northwest with 7.9 million, then the South with 7.2 7.7 million, then followed by the Southwest with 6.9 million, and then the Southeast with about 6.1 or 6.2 million. So that's what we're looking at. And kidnapping was very high, with about 2.23 trillion naira paid as ransom in the space of 1 year. Lawson is calling from Yenigua. Lawson, welcome.
Yes, Canada. There were politics. Daniel Buala. I'm surprised, really.
What's surprising?
He's not speaking for federal government.
That's his work.
And, well, let me not look at that. But the thing is that, yes, agreed, it has reduced compared to before. At least we can all agree with Rivers in those days. It was really tough. It was tough. Like the East-West Road. It was difficult to even pass through. Sometimes you pass with fear. So it has reduced. But even with that, I feel government has not done enough. The reason why criminality is so much in Nigeria is because the Nigerian government, the Nigerian states have not been able to deal effectively with criminality. Instead of dealing with criminality, they reward criminality. That's why you see people most times take to criminality. Because what they do instead is to grant them amnesty. I don't know, Yaradua, may he so rest in peace, a good man, but that thing he started. That amnesty thing, it wasn't the way to go. Now, even call this, they say, oh, Gracom, we want to give you amnesty. With all the crime, criminality, instead of dealing with them. So for me, I am not impressed. I can tell you, I am not impressed because it is still happening. And then even with the people, we don't come up with credible information. We just feel that, yes, it is the police and everything we want to do, the police should handle it. When you go to developed countries, in United Kingdom, US, even the people, they offer credible information to security agents. But yeah, even when we see it, we don't say anything.
Could it be due to lack of trust? Situations where they have reported to the police and the police did not, even implicated them.
Most times that's what people say. But the police have reeled out numbers that people can call. If you see something, say something. But see, when the Nigerian government, then it was Muhammadu Buhari, he wanted Marotiko. By all means, Marotiko fled the country, went to United Kingdom, and then they tried to smuggle him out of the United Kingdom to come and face justice in Nigeria. It was even a lady that saw what was happening and called the police. Even the so-called Osama bin Laden, the Pakistani government was just playing politics with the United States. But at the end of the day, who gave that information for them to get to Osama? Is the locals where he was hiding.
All right.
The Pakistani government didn't even know until Osama bin Laden was taken out.
All right.
So for me, I feel that we can sometimes call those number dead. We also know those that are criminals within our society, within the community. We know them.
Okay.
But nobody wants to say anything.
Last thing I've got to go.
I don't know, but for me, I feel that until we all need to do this, put our hands on deck to solve this problem, it will continue.
All right then. All right.
That's what
all right. Thank you, Lawson. Thank you. I've got B.O.B. from Imbiama. B.O.B. welcome.
B.O.B. Good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
See, this matter, our security system has been compromised because money has played a center stage.
Please turn off your radio. Turn off your radio, please. It's squeaky.
Okay. Not knowing that this world will bring in nothing to this world, take out nothing. It will build mansion, whatever we are. The same casket that the president goes with, that's what everybody goes with. Naked, we connected, we go. We have forgotten that. Let me tell you this issue of kidnapping that you're saying. Nigerian Army, Government Security Apparatus of Nigeria, they have focused their eye on oil. You will hear police destroy 20,000 barrels or 20,000 drums or this or that, according to their report. you only hearing that. Why are they after fuel and destruction of fuel? They are not after criminals. They are not after bandits like Tarawa or whatever, Boko Haram. Why not destroying them? Why are they destroying oil that we also need it? Why are they destroying fuel that we need? Why not secure it and return back to government and make the state function price? That's lack of wisdom. If somebody take a counterfeit, you don't destroy it. You seize it and sell it auction price to people. You know, people that need it. We leave it. Yes, there was a day I was on the express road, express road. If I tell the kind of convoy I see, army commandant, the kind of the motor that escort him, bullet. Our governor don't have that.
All right.
The all uniform men are the uniform, the convoy, the SUV, everything. Nigerian that army commandant. I don't know if that of Ilele or I don't know somewhere. You know, I'm not like our governor does not have that kind of
B.O.B. I've got to go.
I'm telling you. So they focus on our oil and then left what needs to be left undone. Now they're giving us figure, this and that. There is no criminal operation in Nigeria that police or army will not know where they are. Okay, let me just tell you if I drop. The last, this man that was destroying,
General Tubaba. Just go ahead. What's your point? I've got to go. What's your point? Yeah.
Okay, Tubaba. Can't they do the same thing they do to Tubaba to those places in the north? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I guess your focus was just in the north. Okay. I've got Godwin from Erema. Godwin, welcome. What's on your mind? Tell me.
Good evening.
Yeah, greetings to you.
Yes, I'm following up the program. The problem with insecurity, especially the South, according to that report, is the fact that the kind of politicians we have here in this part of the country, politicians like to fester insecurity, fester kidnapping, fester issues that will create problems because they are looking for power. Plus the fact that the security architecture here is not in order.
Okay. I didn't get the last thing you said, but you said the security in this place is not in order, and that the politicians are the ones, heating up the polity. But then again, are the politicians responsible for kidnappings? Are the politicians responsible for home, or is it armed robbery or home robbery? I wonder if the politicians are. But then again, when you look at it, 7.7 million incidents in the south region. When you maybe you divide it equally by the states, by the 6 states, you're looking at over 1 million per state. And if that is the case, over 1 million per state, that means if you come to River State, where we have about 8 million people, or if not almost 10 million people, you're saying a large amount of homes were actually robbed, or some people were robbed on the streets, some people were kidnapped on the road, and it's not such a good report. So I'm looking, what can we do, especially this Yuletide season, where a lot of us will be celebrating and there will be a lot of festivities. What can be done, to secure, to improve security? I mean, of course, we know the police will redeploy and deploy and all of that, but what can we do, really? I'm going to take this one last call.
Yes, the man of the people.
Yeah, what's your name?
Good evening.
Yeah.
I am in support of the noble suggestion of this last caller.
Okay.
But insecurity of this Nigeria and different states were caused and are being caused by the politicians.
Okay.
Are you aware that before 2003 that there was no proliferation of arms, guns of different types? But in 2003, during election, that was when they bought guns and shared to the boys. And today, the boys are using the gun. And I also believe that they also showed them how to acquire those guns. And it is with those guns that all these efforts are being committed in the country. So the politicians.
So you're saying the politicians are the enablers.
The cost of insecurity.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He said the politicians are the enablers. Do you agree? But I would have to step on the brakes right about now. When I do come back, you and I will talk some more. It's almost time for a commercial, and after the commercial, it will be time for the major news. So I've got to go. But thank you nonetheless. Good evening.